Two idiots talking over stuff. Talking over. Talking over. Talking over.
What's up, you fucking idiots?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
Because you just told me that you have an exciting show planned, which usually means I'm gonna suffer.
But I am gonna. Who are you?
I'm gonna be Felicia, or at Felicia3 on Twitter and Instagram. Who are you?
I'm Jesse, and you can find me at @albinight on Twitter. And Felicia should be scared. What's our website looking like over there?
We're www.idiots.fm. That's the official website of Two Idiots Talking Over Stuff. There's links to all our socials on the website homepage, including to our Discord.
Meow, meow, meow.
And that's where you can chat with us, chat with people listening, ask you questions, share news about entertainment. Reverting back to our Newsies.
Newsies accents.
We'll talk about that later. Otherwise, you can email us hello@idiots.fm if you have any secret questions, or you can hit us up at Tito's Pod everywhere, but most active on Twitter and on TikTok, kind of.
Hey, Jack, how did he get in touch with old crutches?
No.
No?
We're going to need more context.
Where we're going, there is no context. Hey, Felicia.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, what's going on?
My sink is broken again, and maintenance hasn't gotten back to me in several days.
Is it just standing water still?
No, it drained, but it took like an hour to drain a quarter inch of water. So I just can't use it is the thing, and that's cool.
I didn't know that. You probably just need to snake it. You need
it's the garbage disposal isn't working.
Oh.
So I need somebody to do that because I don't want to get
You're scared?
I don't know how to work a garbage disposal. I'm just scared that I'm gonna break everything if I try.
Have you been pouring grease and shit in your sink?
No, literally.
Oh, you know better?
Literally never. Like, I don't know what I'm doing to cause this. Weird. Other than that,
maybe Mr. Shaving in there.
I don't think so. He again can't jump up. He has 3 legs and it's too high.
What about the part where I said he was shaving? Why did you say he can't jump up, not that he can't shave?
Because I took that to mean like shed, because he does do that a lot.
Oh. Well, you just kind of killed my joke.
Yeah, I'd like to do that sometimes.
You just kind of stepped all over my joke.
Yeah, it was fun.
Our dryer vent's still not fixed.
Jeez.
That's been weeks. We're just drying into our crawl space. Hey, email us if that's bad for my house.
I assume.
I don't know, actually.
Probably smells good.
Probably. I don't think it's bad, though, because it's just like, maybe lint will build up. No, wait.
Yeah.
Lint, not that much lint can't build up down there. Well, I don't know. That's probably bad.
When you clean out your lint trap after every load, there's usually quite a bit in there, so I can imagine it accumulates. But I also, I live in an apartment where many others have shared the same washer dryer as me, so I'm sure my crawl space doesn't look too hot. I'm just gonna pretend like that's fine.
Oh, you don't have in unit?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I just mean I'm not the first tenant in this apartment.
I see.
So, that's fun, and that's been a cool new source of stress.
Wow.
But for fun, I've been playing lots of Fortnite again.
Oh, yeah.
With the crew.
We did play some Fortnite.
Lots of it. Then I've been playing Switch games. So I've decided that I'm in my era of just wanting to play like cute, stress-free puzzle games, or mystery solving stuff.
Yeah.
So I picked up a game. Well, first I started playing Call of Cthulhu, which I actually bought it when I bought the Switch.
I've heard of that.
It's based off of a Lovecraft book.
I think that's a board game too, maybe.
Yeah, it is. I don't know how much the game is associated with the board game though. I don't recommend it. It's cool. It's like aesthetically really cool, and some of the puzzles are fun, but it's also like relatively broken, and it really doesn't give you any indication of what to do in certain situations. There's
that sucks.
Yeah, there's like one sequence where you're in an art gallery and a monster comes out of a painting and is like chasing you, and you're just trapped there with it. For some reason, you can't go through any of the doors. All you can do is hide. And in the gallery, there's a bunch of display cases with antique weapons. So you can break the cases and take the weapon. And so I tried that. And first, I tried to use it on the monster, insta killed. Then I tried to use it on the painting, and that is what you're supposed to do, but it needs to be a specific weapon, and there's about 15 in the room with you. So it's like trial and error while a monster is chasing you, who insta-kills you if he catches you.
Yeah, that's not fun.
No. So a lot of the puzzles are like that, and I had to put it down several times. That, and it keeps breaking. Like, I'll hit a load screen and it just won't ever load. So I have to like shut it down.
You're playing developer roulette when you get those types of games.
But yeah, I guess so. So yeah, I don't really recommend it. But then I picked up a game called Strange Horticulture, which I am obsessed with. It's you run a plant shop, but it's all kinds of like poisonous plants or plants used for like magic.
Yeah.
And you get people who come in and they're like, I'm looking for a plant that will help me sleep. And then you have to go consult your little guide and then figure out which plant it is. And it's so cute and it's so relaxing. But the thing is, it's so short. Like, I finished it. Yeah, I finished it in a day and a half. And
does it have any DLC or anything? Is it still being developed?
No, I think it's relatively new though. So maybe there'll be more eventually.
Yeah.
But it was like so cute and satisfying, and there's just like a nice little relaxing music playing, and it's like rainy. It was just perfectly aesthetic. So I'm gonna replay it, even though I've already done it.
I wonder if that's a Switch only thing.
I think it might also be on Steam.
Oh, I might check it out if it is.
Yeah.
I like little games like that when I'm working.
Yeah, it's just a nice like zone out puzzly game.
Yeah. I played some more Cyberpunk 2077.
Hell yeah. Any new fun glitches?
No, actually, it's really good. I think I hit a stride where like every now and again you'll get some like little tweak during a cutscene or whatever. But it's nothing as bad as the T-pose in the beginning of the game. But I'm hitting like a section of the game that is incredibly pretty.
Cool.
Like very, very, I haven't seen this before type of pretty.
Interesting.
And I like that I could be like a stealthy hacker boy.
Of course.
So that's what I've been playing. They're called net runners or edge runners. No, net runners maybe. There's net runners and I think there's edge runners too. I'm not sure.
Edge runner sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you if it's from Cyberpunk.
It is. It's from the show. Okay. The show is called Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Speaking of that, me and Miriam watched the rest of it.
And?
It's good. It got more anime-like.
Oh, no.
Which is when I start to get lost.
Yeah.
It's also got this character. All right, this is a pet peeve of mine. This is why I don't like anime in general, or why I don't like large amounts of anime.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel like when I'm watching anime that they needlessly sexualize shit.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm just like, why do you need to sexualize this character?
But I don't know what the animation for this show looks like, but part of my problem is usually the characters also look like children, regardless of how old they're supposed to be. So it's like hypersexual and they look like children.
Here's my problem with Cyberpunk Edge Runners. they have like an adult in a child's body.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're overly sexualizing. It's
Yep,
like a literal
that's it.
adult.
That's literally my problem with anime.
Yeah, it's generally my problem with anime too. It's not usually as overt as it is in this show, but because this show's got a big old hard R rating, they go over the top, and they have her like, I don't know, it's just weird. And I find it weird in every single anime that I ever watch, because
Yeah.
I'm not like an overtly sexual person to begin with, so it's just annoying. Like I don't get anything out of it. I'm just like, why murk up the story with this? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this before, but just there's already a disconnect in my brain between something being animated and something being for adults, because I automatically associate animation with kid stuff, which I know isn't always the case. But when the style of your animation, it looks like innocent and juvenile, and then you're gonna keep dealing with really adult subject matter, it just makes that disconnect grow. And I can't reconcile it.
My brain can't handle it.
Yeah.
I can't, like, normally I could suspend disbelief, or I can look the other way on a lot of stuff, but for whatever reason, not that. And that's always the problem I've had with anime.
Yeah.
That said, that show's really good. It leans hard into the anime in like episode 9, but it kind of needs to. And the ending is good. It's made the game more enjoyable too. I feel like the show did some world building for me that wasn't there in the game yet.
Okay. And it's
So
all like relatively connected, right? It's like the same universe.
Oh, exact same universe. It's all, they're using like the same lingo and stuff.
Cool.
And even if you don't like sci-fi cyberpunky shit, I recommend it if you like open world RPGs at all. It'll be like Red Dead Redemption, except you're in the future and you can hack shit. It's fun.
And I'm pretty sure there actually exists a like Dungeons and Dragons type RPG with it within the cyberpunk universe.
Really?
Yeah,
What do
I'm
you
pretty
mean?
sure. Like a not, I guess RPG is not the word I'm looking for, but like Dungeons and Dragons, where you're with your friends and you all get to make a character. That, but cyberpunk.
There's like a cyberpunk tabletop game, you mean?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Tabletop RPG. That's cool.
Yeah.
I might be into that. I don't know if I have time to figure out the world.
Right.
I've been thinking about running a D&D game basically for 15 years. And I'm just like,
D&D in general always sounds fun, but it's such a huge commitment.
Yeah, especially as a DM. I sometimes have trouble committing as a player.
Yeah.
So I know, like, I think I have the talent, like the creative juice to like run a game, and I can do voices and stuff. But that commitment is so, like, when you're 40 and you have a full-time job and shit, that commitment is so much.
Yeah, dude. Also, I pretty much just want to make characters. So, like, once it starts going, I'm like, can I just kill this one and I'll build a new one?
I'm kind of like that too. I like to jump around characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. What else? Played Fortnite, played Cyberpunk. That's about it.
Miriam said she started The Last of Us. Are you watching?
She did. No, I'm not. I don't watch.
You fucking asshole.
I can't watch people play video games. I have ADHD and it's severe. I get fucking so bored.
I know.
I can't watch people play video games.
Well, I hope she enjoys it and sticks it out.
I think she's enjoying it. She hit like a spot that's weird with a save game or something.
Oh, I don't know. So in the beginning, the first time that I tried playing through it, I had a couple friends recommend it. And I remember like hitting a wall where there's just all these stealth missions, and I'm so bad at stealth. And like stealth to the point where you really have to sneak because you can't fight.
Yeah.
So like that's the worst. I'd rather it be that it's just difficult to fight if you get caught. But yeah, I got stuck in this spot where there was just a bunch of stealth back to back, and I was like, I am ready to give up. I'm putting this game down. And my friends were like, no, you have to stick with it. You have to stick with it. It gets so much better. And it really does.
Well, Miriam's the opposite. She loves stealth. So I don't think she has.
I don't have the patience.
I'm like one side of the spectrum or the other. I like stealth, but if I'm not stealth, then I just like mowing through people.
I guess I don't like stealth without the option to fight back if it comes to that. I don't like stealth
that's
where
annoying.
it's like you get insta-killed if you're not stealthy.
That's annoying. That's something that Cyberpunk does well so far, by the way.
That's good.
Is that it's as stealthy as you want it to be, but if you break stealth, it doesn't like super punish you for it.
See, the Assassin's Creed franchise used to have all these like stealth sequences where you would have to like tail a subject, and if they saw you, you'd have to start over.
Yeah.
And I always hated that about the games, but I think eventually they picked up on that because it got to the point where it's like you can be stealthy, but if you get caught, you're going to have to fight, and it'll be challenging, but you can do it. And that's what I prefer.
I zoned out because your crow distracted the fuck out of me.
Crow.
Speaking of ADHD, yeah, if I remember to edit it, I'll pump the levels on that boy, but he was loud as fuck.
Perfect. Yeah, I think
right in the middle of the last part you were saying about Assassin's Creed, it was like, cacao!
There were several crows flying past the apartment. I think they're gone.
Do you want to recap your Assassin's Creed thing real quick?
You're the only one who's okay.
Okay.
But just quickly to summarize, Assassin's Creed used to force you into stealth and make you start over if you failed. Now it doesn't. So I think they took
That's way better.
Yeah.
That's much better. You think I should do a podcast, you think, when I get like violently like taken off track? Yeah, I'm basically that dog from Up. We'll see how the podcast goes when I can't listen to you. What did we watch last week?
I watched a couple things on my own. I've been watching I Survived, which is like people who survived near-death experiences.
Is that Paramount Plus? Or not Paramount.
No, actually,
what was the other one?
It's on Hulu.
Oh.
And also I dated a psycho. And in doing this, I realized something. Like, you like to say that I like to watch really bleak things and like just like full of death and stuff.
That's
and
correct.
It's not completely true. I like to watch survival stories. Like, take The Terror. One person does live, and I like the like fight for survival that happens. So I think that's what compels me to those things. Is I don't like true crime because it's like telling the story of the murderer who actively killed all these people. But I like things like I Survived because it's the person who might have died telling you how they pulled through.
Yeah, I get that. Did you like The Revenant?
I've never seen it. I know isn't it Leo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
In a very survival scenario.
I probably would. I can picture is there wolves involved?
Dude, it's him versus the elements. We should watch that.
Yeah,
sometime.
I would be into that. I like that kind of thing.
Yeah, let's watch that. Let's do let's for sure watch that.
Cool.
What was I gonna say? Oh, do you think it's healthy for you to watch I Dated a Psychopath as a single Hinge girl?
Yes, because it's like it's a warning, it makes you look out for the warning signs.
Won't that make you like hyper overprotective?
Not really, because honestly, all of the episodes that I watched so far, it's been like I would literally never do the thing that person did. Like,
oh, is she doing dumb stuff?
Yeah, like I don't know, not if it's me on a first date, I'm like meeting them somewhere in public, during the day, whereas these people are like, I'll come to your house, and I know I've never met you, but I'll come to your house at night. It's like I would literally never do that, so I'm not going to be in this situation.
Dude, this reminds me. Let's go off track.
Okay.
Did I tell you about my idea for the dating app?
Maybe. Oh, the stalker. The stalker one? Yeah.
Yeah, it's stalker, but it's like stalk R. And the people on it can volunteer to be stalked so that like you can take that that unknowing scenario out of it. So basically the app just broadcasts your location to this person that you swipe on. You still have to swipe on them.
The thing is, if you consent to being stalked, you know people might be following you, so you're going to be on your best behavior.
Yeah, but if you're doing it for like 5 or 6 people, I don't know. P.S. I don't think this would ever work. This
No,
is
it's a
creepy
bad
as fuck.
idea for sure.
But I think in theory,
It
sounds great.
No, it doesn't.
Think about you swiping on some dude that you're iffy on, but you can follow him around for a couple weeks or a few weeks and
But
like
again, like he
make
knows
sure
he
he's
can,
not a fucking crazy person.
but he knows he consented to being watched potentially, so I feel like
Right.
he's gonna be extra careful not to like give away what he's doing. Plus, he could do whatever the fuck he wants in the privacy of his own home, so it's still not comforting.
Well, you can make sure that for one, you can make sure he's not catfishing you. For two, you can make sure that he's like holding the job he says he has or whatever.
I've never been catfished, have you?
No. What do you mean? I've been married since
I
AOL
know, but
Instant
you
Messenger.
used to date.
Yeah, kinda.
You had
But
chat rooms. People used to meet up.
oh, yeah, but it wasn't that.
It doesn't even have to be like a romantic situation. It could have been like you met someone playing World of Warcraft and then they said they were 14, but you met up and they were like 50.
It was different for me. I met like when I was in chat rooms, I was going to like parties and stuff a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was this community of people from Virginia, which is where I'm from. And it was like a big chat room full of people from Virginia. And they would have these get-togethers and you would all meet there.
Oh.
So I wasn't like...
It was never one-on-one.
Not really, no. So the opportunity to be catfished wasn't really there.
Yeah.
I dated... There was a couple scenarios where I could have been catfished, but not really. I kind of like knew everybody that I dated when I was younger.
Yeah.
Or they were getting recommended by a friend or something like that.
I'm always like, this is gonna sound sad, but it's not. Whenever I like swipe on a really attractive person and they swipe back and like match me and like all their pictures look like they were professionally taken, I'm like, oh, that's a catfish.
Yeah, you can just go to like 10i.com and do a reverse search and you'll probably find those boys.
Yeah. Just the wonders of being a single woman.
Yeah. But Stalker app, man. I really think in a perfect world it could be good.
I don't think so.
People would use it for creepy ends, so you really can't.
No.
But I think the idea is solid. Like, what if you could get, not the idea for the app, but like the idea of it's just kind of like courting from afar, just like making sure someone's who you think they are.
Well, that's kind of how I'd like to approach that. Like, even just talking to someone for a while through social media before you ever meet in person.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's expected that you go on a date relatively soon or they just stop talking to you.
Right.
And because they're like, well, and I get it because they're like, well, do you really just want to talk on the internet forever? And I'm kind of like, I just want to know that you're not a psycho.
What's that new app where like it pings you to take a picture and everybody has to take a picture at the same time? What's that called? Do you have any fucking clue what I'm talking about?
No.
Most people listening probably know what this thing is. It's like, it's a newer social media booming thing that's happening right now that people think it's funny to ask me to get. They're like, it's Heather. But to be fair, I call Heather like Godzilla tall. So it's just like, that's her retort. She's like, get this app that takes your picture immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if the Stalker app had that? And when you're stalking someone, it takes a picture so they know where you're stalking from. And it's kind of a fun game.
No, I hate that.
No, yeah, it's bad. It's not good.
It's very bad. Oh, you are supposed to, on a lot of the dating sites, it'll make you take a picture in order to like verify your profile.
Right.
To make sure it's really you. But I'm sure there's ways to cheat the system.
I have no idea how any of that shit works, but according to Reddit, bots are all over those apps.
Sure.
So they must find some way around it.
I watched one last thing on my own.
Yeah.
It's a movie called All Eyes. It is a very indie horror movie that came out this year. The premise is a radio host who hosted like a paranormal show where he would interview people claiming to have paranormal experiences,
Mm-hmm.
got this guy on air who like flipped out, showed that he had someone locked in his basement and then tried to kill himself. So this guy got disgraced and fired from his job. And
Right.
then in an effort to redeem himself,
Wait, is this fiction?
Yes.
Okay.
In an effort to redeem himself, he's like chasing for a story that would make him look good. And he gets this letter from this old guy saying, I don't like you, but my wife did, and she died. So I'm going to invite you to my property where there's a monster, and we're going to hunt it together, and that'll get you back on the air. So he goes.
That's an interesting premise.
Yeah. He goes and they monster hunt, and there's like a very specific, it's one of those films where you're kind of like, is this guy crazy or is there something going on?
Do you know what year it came out?
This year. It's new.
Oh, all right. No spoilies then.
No spoilies. I was just gonna say, like the performances, again, it's very indie. The main character I wasn't fond of towards the beginning. I just felt like he was not good.
Yeah.
But kind of when stuff amps up, he reacts appropriately, I would say. So it gets better. But I had a good time with it. It was like relatively, like, I choked up a couple of times, and it was good action. Like, I fully gasped at the screen once.
You choked up during, this is a thriller, I imagine?
It says it's a thriller. I would call it more like a horror comedy.
Interesting. Yeah, you don't really get stories doing that to you in that genre.
My cat is going insane right now. He is like, he's got the zoomies. He's scratching every piece of furniture.
Yeah. My cat's asleep for once and not joining in the. Yeah,
they reversed.
I think our cats are on different schedules.
But yeah, anyway, that's called All Eyes, and
what's your rating?
I would give it like 6.5 out of 10, 6.8 maybe. Yeah,
that's decent for horror.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. We watched The Orphan in VR.
We did.
Kinda.
We watched most of The Orphan in VR, and then back to trains.
We watched The Orphan on one side of the screen and a train live cam on the other side of the screen, whilst a new group of people were talking to the train people. I don't want to say where.
No.
I'm not.
Just as a quick recap for people who don't know this story, we have a weekly VR movie night with some friends, and Jesse was like, hey, I hear people actually watch live feeds of train stations. So we went on one, and then people who are in our friend group started showing up in the comment section.
Yeah.
And then last week,
we're basically bullying. We're bullying old people. We're gently bullying old people because it's kind of cute that they do this every night with each other.
But the thing is, at least 2, if not 3 of our friends are now actually into it.
No, it's still a bit.
It is a bit, but it's like...
them being into it's a bit.
I don't know, man. They are involved way too much for it to just to be a bit at this point.
To be fair, I'm in that group. I watched a live feed called Porch Trains this morning because I got notified for it.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like doing this outside of the time where we are all together and doing the bit together.
Yeah, there's something charming about the trains, man. They're kind of. I'll never be as. These people are fucking nuts about trains, and I'll never be that way. But
however, I will say I know that now there is essentially a contest going on to see who can become a mod, which is fun.
I want to become a mod so I can unshadow ban myself, because the first night we did it, I went too far and I got banned. Well, too far for boomers.
I am definitely also banned.
Yeah, we were too on the nose with our satire.
Yeah, Matt said we flew too close to the sun, and he's right.
That's true. But yeah, my new goal is to become a moderator so that I can unban my original account.
And me.
Maybe. I'll think about it. I'm probably done with trains after this week.
Yeah, right.
No, really.
This is gonna go on as long as the gob go glob glob.
I don't know. I might watch the porch trains thing. This guy is so into trains that his porch literally looks at a train track that's like 20 feet from his porch.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It does, but I bet for that guy, he bought his house specifically for. I bet his house was cheap as fuck.
Well, yeah,
because it's right next to a goddamn train track. But
yeah, like imagine at all hours you're trying to sleep and suddenly train.
Yeah, I think this guy is into it. Maybe he's soundproofed his bedroom or something like
You
that.
could feel that.
Yeah, you could. It's terrible. What a terrible house to buy. But it's good for porch trains.
Yeah.
I watched Sneakers from 1992. It's the 30th anniversary.
One of your faves.
Yeah, that's the top 10 for me. I watch it at least once a year. I think I've watched it like 3 times this year. And it's a quintessential hacking movie. It's one of the only movies you're going to see that like accurately portrays hacking as what it is, which is attacking people. So if you see like a lot of hacking and like CSI and stuff like that, they're attacking technology, which is bullshit because most of that shit is like heavily fortified. So if you see some like satellite scan, that's bullshit. Hackers get in through people like 99% of the time. And Sneakers is really good about portraying that. So it's like attacking the flaws in humanity versus technology. And also for that reason.
Nerd.
Hey, fuck you, man. We just watched Newsies.
Yeah, shut up.
Nerd.
I'm sorry. Continue.
No, that was it. And for that reason, it's always going to hold up as a film because there's no bad technology to look at, really.
Hell yeah. It's still so weird to me that Robert Redford is in the MCU.
Yeah, that is weird. I don't know I'm not honestly sure if Sidney Poitier is still alive. I think he is.
I don't know.
I don't know what I need to read up on Sidney Poitier because he had like an amazing career and I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't think he died.
It seems like he gracefully stepped away, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
It could be. Yeah, that's interesting. I might look him up because I was wondering that while I was watching it, actually. And Ben Kingsley's in it too.
Hell yeah.
Just a fucking who's who. We watched the Ghost Files. First episode of that. What is that on? The Watcher or something?
Yeah, so it's Ryan and Shane, formerly of BuzzFeed Unsolved. Their new show is called Ghost Files. It's basically the same show, but it's on their new channel called Watcher on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
So it's they're internet boys turned ghost hunters pretty much by accident because BuzzFeed wanted them to. And now it's what they're most known for. One of them is a hardcore believer and the other one is a hardcore skeptic to the point of like belligerently yelling at demons. So I love their dynamic. It's certainly not a serious ghost hunting show, but it's as professional as a YouTube ghost hunting show could be, probably.
Are there old BuzzFeed is that stuff still up?
Oh yeah. If not on, well, I'm sure it's still on YouTube, but it's also on Hulu, and I think Amazon Prime too, the whole series.
Oh.
There's like 6 or 7 seasons.
Oh, that's on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
I might go check those out. I like their dynamic too.
There's some like great Shane moments.
They do some of the shit that I don't like, but it's entertaining enough that I overlook it. Like the bringing out the gadgets and shit really just ruffles my feathers.
Well, okay, they don't do that much in BuzzFeed Unsolved, and I think they're only doing it now because they're like, look, we're professionals now. We have the budget to do this.
Yeah, but they're just like fucking snake oil make-believe gadgets.
But every ghost hunter show does it, so I'm sure they just bought them to like keep up.
Right.
But BuzzFeed Unsolved doesn't have any of that.
But it's all based is so stupid.
I know you think it's stupid, but that's what ghost hunters use.
I know, but my whole thing is
you're not going to find a ghost hunter show that doesn't use an ovulus.
How can you tell when it's ovulusing?
You're not gonna find the ghost hunter shows that don't use EMF detectors.
Once a month, they ovulus. Dude, there's no evidence that ghosts are electricity.
Yeah, I'm not saying I support.
Every one of those gadgets is like, how can we? What if they're
fine.
radio
It doesn't
waves?
make me dislike the show.
What if they live in electricity? But we'll stand over here and it'll go beep, 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 beep.
I'm sure there's like legitimate research out there that's like, we think
Dude.
this is what ghosts are made of. Shut up, Jesse.
You can't say legitimate research and ghosts in the same sentence.
Yeah, you can. I'm sure there's researchers who actually look into the phenomenon of the paranormal.
Yeah. You're probably right.
I don't think that's crazy. You can be a complete skeptic and still look into it to try to disprove it. Like, it's a fascinating subject, whether you believe in it or not.
I don't know if you want to see the results of that research, is what I'm saying.
My God.
I'm sure
Jesse's
the research
out here
exists.
like, no one has ever seen a ghost. They were hallucinating.
Well, prove me wrong.
I think lots of things could prove you wrong, but you're not going to listen.
Not an
What
ovulus.
else did we watch, Jesse?
We watched The Big Short, which was, we're recording a day late because I had a hankering to watch it yesterday.
Yeah.
But The Big Short's good for some existential dread, if you want to feel that.
Yeah. It was a good movie, but yes, it was quite dark.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Because it's real.
It's like a really genius way of portraying really boring information in an entertaining fashion. They really did well. That's Adam McKay, by the way, did that movie. And it's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's very much like if it was done any other way, I would have zoned out so fast. But they really do present it to you in an entertaining way, even if you do not understand the subject matter.
Yeah, and it's totally, you can tell it's totally designed in a way that they know that fucking information's boring.
Yeah.
Because it jumps all over the place at all times, and it's like hard cuts, and it's always keeping your attention.
It also has a great cast.
Yeah. Everybody except George Clooney and Matt. I don't think Matt Damon was in it either. But yeah, it's got a gigantic good cast. We watched the Newsies for a bonus that's coming out, I think tomorrow. I'm going to try to get that out tomorrow. I have all the files for it. I just got to put it together. Yes,
this is the second entry into our Hate Watch Parade, the first musical that was my pick for Jesse to watch because he made me watch a sports movie the last time.
Yeah, and it was really torturous for me too.
I think he's exaggerating. He did spend about 50% of the movie making fingering jokes about the character who has a cartoon voice.
Well, and a disability. But it's like over the top.
Well, they call him Crutchy, so it's like that's about how sensitive they are about it.
Yeah, and they don't stop at Crutchy, by the way, either. They're calling him all sorts of shit.
And he loves it. But no, Newsies is fucking great. And I think it's going to be a really entertaining watch along.
Yeah, the watch along itself is going to be fun because, unless you don't like really bad Italian accents, because that's like 90%
Not Italian, Brooklyn.
Dude, it's Italian.
It's East Coast Italian. It's not just that's what Italian sounds like. It's such a specific accent.
If you just came along and heard our watch along, you would say that's an Italian accent.
No,
I don't know. Most people would.
I'm so close to quitting
the show. You're done.
I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm quitting our friendship.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not gonna get better either.
No, it's not.
We got some stuff going on.
Oh God, I forgot.
And we watched Bodies.
Yeah, Bodies, that's going to be our actual watch along for the week.
Yeah. Did I just fuck up a reveal? I think I did.
Well, it's 40 minutes into the show. I think we're like cool with doing a reveal at this point.
I remembered at the bottom of the rundown, I forgot to change it from Speak No Evil. So yeah, I fucked that up. Oh, sorry if you like mysteries.
My stupid idiot son is scratching everything again.
Oh no.
I don't know why.
You want to do some questions about it?
Sure.
You know, the time for asking
Any question
is right now.
Hey.
Hey.
We got some questions from the Discord.
Hell
We
yeah.
have 3 this week.
Whoa.
That's big volume.
Yeah.
The first one's from Tyler, and he asks, what's your favorite outfit or outfits from movies or television?
This is a very fun question.
I agree.
So I made a big list, and we don't have to.
That's the most you thing.
Yeah. I'm like legitimately obsessed with costuming for stuff. Yeah. Which is why, like, I always wanted to work in live theater making costumes or like doing effects. So I make a note of this stuff in my head, and like when the question came in, of course I forgot everything ever. So I tried to like scroll through stuff I watched to see if I could find some examples on the fly. And I'm just gonna list stuff. We do not need to talk about it.
Wait, can I guess that 60% of your list includes a parasol?
I don't think any of mine have a parasol.
I'm devastated.
You don't know nothing, idiot.
You're not going Kaylee from Firefly?
No. That's just a jumpsuit.
Yeah, but she's got a cool parasol. She looks cool.
She's great. That's not an impressive costume.
All right, what's your favorite outfit?
Okay. So, first, because we have to have a Lee Pace in there, anything his character Thranduil wears in The Hobbit, there's a TikTok of like him strutting in all his outfits. It's great.
All right.
All the costumes from The Love Witch I really love. They do like a great job of making it aesthetic.
That movie's weird and boring, but they did the visuals well.
Then Bram Stoker's Dracula, even though I don't love the adaptation, I do love the aesthetic. Anything Nadja wears and What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, that's the parasol outfit. If she added if Nadja like carried a parasol around, it would fit. Sure.
There's a show on Hulu called Harlots, and it's about prostitutes, and they have great outfits. This is kind of cheating, but the masquerade scene in Phantom of the Opera, but the stage version, because the one in the movie was a lot less impressive.
Did you misread the question?
And then lastly, Blackbeard in Our Flag Means Death.
I said Neo from The Matrix.
That's so... Wow, I think you misread the question.
No, he said, what's your favorite outfit? Oh, I guess he does say outfits.
Yeah, outfit or outfits from movies or TV.
Tyler, you fucked up pluralizing it with Felicia on this podcast. She's gonna...
I'm sorry I didn't have a very simple idiot man answer like, I like John Wick.
I didn't say John Wick, god damn it. I said Neo from The Matrix.
I like Mad Max.
I don't know. This question was like hardish for me because when I first read it, I was like, oh, that's a great question. Then I thought about it and I'm like, maybe Marty McFly.
That's a fun one.
From Back to the Future. I always kind of liked, I had a vest phase too. I always kind of liked his vest.
See, I feel like you're looking at it from that'd be cool. Like, that's a cool dude thing to wear.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking for the extra theatrical over the top stuff.
Yeah, maybe so. I knew you would have a good answer to this though. Tatiana, our friend Tatiana, Etsy.com/magiclessmage if you like stickers.
I won't try to say it because Jesse will yell at me for saying it wrong.
What? What do you mean?
Remember the maze incident?
Oh yeah, sorry. I did. I blocked it out. The trauma was too...
It was too much.
She asked, what's a genre of movie you've tried to get into but just couldn't? Every spooky season I try so hard to get motivation for scary movies, but I just can't.
I got you, girl. I first of all, I'm a firm believer that even people who are like, I don't like scary movies, I could find you one that you'll like.
Yeah.
There's so many different genres just within horror. That said, I cannot get into art house specifically like art house horror. I really hate the like cerebral stuff that you're just supposed to accept because it looks cool, and like it's very psychedelic a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I hate that shit. I hate it so much. If I wanted to just look at stuff, I'd go to an art gallery. If I'm watching a movie, I want a story.
I could deal with art house. I don't like grindhouse.
No, but art house is worse for me.
Mine is classics. I have a very hard time with like old black and white films.
I get that.
I think it's the pacing a lot of the times. Like some of them are fine, like To Kill a Mockingbird and 12 Angry Men. And there's more that I like that I can't recall right now. But there are some classics that I haven't seen that as a film nerd, like you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shit ton of those. And every year I'm like, I'm just going to sit down and power through these so that I'm not feeling bad about not having seen them.
So I grew up, my dad is super into like old Hollywood of like the 30s and shit. So I grew up watching these movies, and I have a lot of the same issues with just random black and white films where I can't get into it. But specific types, like I love Alfred Hitchcock. I love Cary Grant movies. I love Katharine Hepburn. I have a huge tattoo of her.
Yeah.
I love, my dad was obsessed with Laurel and Hardy and Abbott and Costello. So we used to watch all of those. So I have a lot like under my belt. But if you asked me to like pick a classic black and white romance, I couldn't do it. They're mostly like quirky comedies.
I just remembered something, memory unlock. I think I know why I don't like classics, and I haven't thought about it in a long time, but there was a period, like a very long period in my life where I was living in the woods, basically in the boonies, no satellite. And for a long time, we didn't even have an antenna. So I was like stuck with VHSs and Betamax, or basically I was stuck with Betamax videos, and I would watch like Breakin'. That's why I've seen Breakin' 500 times, or Weekend at Bernie's and shit like that. But when we did finally get antennas on our TV, like we got a big antenna on the top of our house so we could kind of reach to Washington, D.C., which was like 45 minutes away. My options were still limited, and it was always black and white shit that I would be forced to watch at night when people were asleep, but I was still a night owl. So yeah, it was like all Perry Mason, the Beverly Hillbillies, like Leave It to Beaver, Andy Griffith. And once you get late night, they go into the movies.
Yeah.
And they're all shit. And you're just stuck watching whatever they were running on like Fox at whatever, 12 a.m.
Yeah, I feel like people don't understand that movies aren't, they're not classics just because they're old.
Yeah.
So, but I think there's certainly some good movies from that era, just not all of them.
No, I just think,
I
just think I had my fill of black and white by the time I wasn't even a teenager yet.
We're gonna watch maybe one or two things that I think you'll like.
That's fine. I don't swear it off. I just like can't be a self-starter.
Yeah.
Even though I've tried a million times, like I still haven't seen what's that Rosebud one?
Rosebud?
Fuck. It's a Kubrick. I think it's a Kubrick. Like maybe his first Kubrick. One. Damn it. I can't think of it. Citizen Kane.
Oh.
That's not Kubrick.
That's not Kubrick. I think I've seen Citizen Kane, but if I have, it was a long time ago, and it was like one of the ones my dad made me watch.
I haven't seen Citizen Kane, and there's a Kubrick one, I think, that's black and white. That's like a super classic that I also haven't seen, but I can't think of the name of it. It's like a satire, whatever. Anyway, yeah, classics. I don't like black and white shit. And yours, what was yours again? I'm sorry.
Art house.
That's right, art house. Yeah, I guess that's why you didn't like X. It probably
it's very art house.
When she starts dancing, it pings that art house.
Yep.
That's when it lost you.
Yeah.
All right. Beth has a question. Our friend Beth, our supernatural watch along buddy,
supernatural friend,
our common shitter. If you could go back in time and see any movie in theaters during the time it first came out, what movie would you pick?
For me, it's kind of obvious, but what instantly popped into my head would be Jurassic Park. When it
Oh, that's a good one.
when it actually came out, I was pretty busy being born,
Yeah.
but I did see it a long time ago. I want to say like 10 years ago. They released it in 3D again, and I went and saw that, and it was so cool. But I just think like a movie like that where the special effects still hold up, not only hold up to this day, but like hold up better than a lot of other modern movies. I think that kind of spectacle would have been really cool to see in theaters for the first time.
Oh, it was fucking sick.
Yeah.
Old me definitely saw that in the theater. I remember, this might be a false memory, but I'm pretty sure I saw it very close to Independence Day too.
Huh.
The movie, not the actual
Yeah.
day. So I think
That's
I saw
a good
like
double feature.
Yeah, I think I saw Independence Day and Jurassic Park. Like, I think they were definitely in the same summer. It was 94, right? For Jurassic Park.
I thought it was 93.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
You were only 11 and you remember that?
Yeah.
Huh.
My parents were fucked up about what they would let me go see. Like, there was no rules, basically. I could see whatever the fuck I wanted to.
I know that my parents showed that to me when I was young. It was like we were watching it as a family, but I absolutely fell asleep the first time and didn't see any of the big dinosaur eat people.
If it was 93, though, I would have been 12. And if it was 94, I would have been 13. I want to say it was 94.
I'm going to look it up. You talk about yours. I'll look it up.
Okay. I would have loved to have seen Gravity in 3D.
That'd be cool.
Like, Gravity and Avatar are my big misses. I went to see Dallas Buyers Club instead with my friend Elise, and I remember that
movie.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was a great movie. But that was a choice that I made. I remember I was talking to her. She was a coworker at the time.
It was 93.
And I was like, okay, for Jurassic Park, so I would have been 12.
Yeah. I'm trying to look up the month though. Sorry, go ahead.
Elise is an actress, by the way. She's in the show Lodge 49 in a big spoilery way, so I can't. People should watch Lodge 49 though. That show's good.
So it was June 11th, 1993. Jurassic Park came out. So I was 2 months old.
And I was 11 or 12. I don't know. I'm bad at math. I definitely saw that in the theater, though. I remember it. It was gnarly. It scared the shit out of me, too, especially when that dinosaur, like, eats the guy in the porta potty.
Dude, I was also really sensitive to sound when I was a kid, so I feel like hearing the dinosaur roar would have been terrifying to me.
Yeah, probably. So, yeah, mine's Gravity 3 in 3D. I really regret Elise and I were picking what movie to go see. It was Dallas Buyers Club because she talked me into it, I think. And
then I never that in 3D, right?
No. And then I never went to see Gravity in 3D. I really wish I would have, because it's like a quintessential 3D experience. Yeah. Everybody's got it in their list. And I missed it. I missed Avatar too. But I would rather see Gravity, I think. Yeah. Have you ever seen Gravity?
Yes, you showed me Gravity.
Oh, I did?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
But in 3D, it probably would have made you puke.
Yep.
I've been playing out a lot of hypotheticals in my mind.
Felicia.
Yes.
Me too. We have Efren from the Discord gave us a hypothetical that on first look, I was like, that's a great one. And then I was like, wait, Norman Lear didn't do like a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, I had that same experience, and I have the same answer as you.
Oh, really?
Because The Princess Bride happens to be the only thing of Norman Lear that I've seen.
Well, my problem is that the stuff that he did, like Good Times and The Jeffersons and Sanford and Sons, I watched all that shit and like I loved it. I watched those shows on they would play them on repeat when I was like skipping school.
Yeah. I definitely have seen like episodes here or there, but they're not shows that I used to watch religiously.
Yeah. And there's nothing really about them that I would change. I don't think they're kind of like, I don't know. Those are good memories for me. So I'm like the wrong person to ask. But yeah, I did see The Princess Bride on his list. And I as a executive producer, and my answer is I'd bully the writers into cutting out the grandfather and grandson scenes.
See, I really like Princess Bride. It's not one of my favorite movies, but I enjoy it, and I don't mind the grandson and grandfather scenes. But if I had to change one thing about the movie, that's also the only thing I can think of.
I used to not like it. It's one of Miriam's favorite movies, and I actually remember not liking it. It's one of those things. It's like when you say you don't like broccoli when you're 5, and then just carry that with you.
Yeah.
I think I had a similar experience with The Princess Bride when I was very young, because I could just remember being like, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched it last year with a watch along with the James on Cinema guy, and I liked it. So something changed. But the grandfather and grandson scenes are just hokey.
They are.
But I feel like this is sacrilege probably for some people. Some people probably love that shit.
I don't think anyone's favorite part of those movies are the Fred Savage parts.
I don't know. Probably not. I also had the same problem with the Neverending Story. I didn't really care about the non-fantasy. I would say, yeah, I was gonna say I would say watch it because it's a classic. But if that's not part of your like childhood zeitgeist, you're probably not gonna give a fuck.
See, I feel like there are certain movies where your initial reaction is to be like, you got it, it's a classic. But I think there's a lot of them that fall into the category of if you didn't see it while you were a child, it's probably not going to hit you the same way.
Man, the Neverending Story has maybe the gut punchiest scene. Actually, no, don't watch the Neverending Story.
No, I know that. I know what happened.
The fucking horse, man.
Yeah.
That shit hurt me. Dude, every time.
There's a great Game Grumps bit from, they were playing Shadow of the Colossus. Have you ever played that game?
No, but I've heard of it.
It's a cool game.
Is that something like the really hard the Dark Souls?
No. Oh. Shadow of the Colossus is like you have to your girlfriend's dead, and in order to resurrect her, you have to hunt and kill like 12 mythical beasts. And kind of realize, cool. Yeah, it's a fun game, and it's like you have to figure out where to stab them and like how to climb them to access the spot you have to stab them.
Right.
But they were playing it on Game Grumps, and at one point the main character is riding a horse, and the horse's name is Aggro. And one of the guys knows what happens and the other one didn't. So Aaron is there like, man, isn't Aggro a great horse? Man, yeah, I love Aggro. And the other one is like, yeah, you know what? You're right. And then the next scene, he like falls off a bridge.
Can you link me that? Because I want to watch it, and I'll try to put it in the show notes too. I love shit like that.
If I can find it isolated.
I love fucking reaction videos, and that's the kind of shit that I really like. It's when you know something gut-wrenching is coming.
That's so mean.
Yeah, but it's fun.
My friend, okay, Alex claims he didn't do this on purpose, but he absolutely did this to me too. There is a character in Red Dead Redemption who dies, and I'm just gonna say his name because who here hasn't played it?
That's a very old game.
Yeah. Alex was like, man, Lenny is such a great character. Don't you just love Lenny? Isn't he great? I love Lenny. And then, like, moments later in my game, he gets shot in the head. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's something I would pick up on, I think. Did you pick up on what he was doing?
No. Because it, like, didn't occur to me that he was in danger.
I would have read it, and that would have spoiled it, and I would have been mad.
I should have read into it. And he's like, oh, I wasn't trying to do that. I just like Lenny.
Alex is fun. I listen to, for anyone looking for another podcast to listen, well, I think it's Patreon only, though.
It is, but it's free. So if you have the link, you can listen to it.
For Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They do. Felicia writes for Friday, which is another podcast, and they have a blog, and they do a writer's room podcast, and I listened to the most recent one. It was fun, and Felicia's high as fuck, and that's fun too.
just during the second half, and it's because it was right before VR movie night.
And
so I took an edible, and I didn't expect us to be recording for 2 hours. So by the end, I'm like, I can't keep my head up.
And the fun thing is you told me that, and I forgot because that's what I do.
I think I sounded perfectly eloquent. Thank you.
Well, I was just listening of my own volition because I like that podcast. And I was like halfway through, I was like, and I think I sent you a message. I was like, this is a good podcast. You did pretty good. And then, yeah, you told me you were high. And I was like, oh, right. That's the one where you were high as fuck. But it was like the second half. And then I started listening hard and I caught it. I caught some of the high.
When I'm high, it's like I just zone in and out. So I can be like perfectly on topic and eloquent one moment. And then I'm like, who just said that?
Yeah. Well, that's anyone who's ever been high will know the feeling like you can't do anything you have to focus on, really.
Yeah.
You either, well, I take that back. You either hyper focus on something or you can't focus on anything.
I'm kind of like I go in and out. Like if I am called upon to talk, I can say something, but I'll forget it as soon as I'm done.
Yeah, that's a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
I can never, you'll never catch my ass podcasting drunk or high.
It was not my intention.
I don't think you could ever do it. Hey, let's do this new segment. What do you think?
God.
Because I'm sure it isn't good. That's the impression that I get.
Wow. Do you know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
Do you have an inkling of what this?
We talked about this during Fortnite, and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna play this little clip for you. Our very first, Felicia's gonna do an impression, and she doesn't know what it is yet.
Census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
That's not how you say Chianti.
What do you? It's Silence of the Lambs.
I know it's Silence of the Lambs, but he mispronounced Chianti. He said Chianti.
Yeah, but you have to do it like Hannibal. Do you want me to do it again? Do you want me?
No, I don't want you to do it again. First of all, this is not my first impression. I've done plenty of organic impressions that I get thrown under the bus and mercilessly ridiculed for. Thank you.
Yeah. But most of the impressions you do are wildly off base, so I thought it'd be fun.
But also, I've only ever had to do like a word or two. This is an entire 2 sentences and a sound effect.
But I was nice enough to give you the sound effect, and I wrote out the script. Do you want to hear it again?
No.
It's in your head?
Yeah. Well, I've seen the movie more than once.
Would it make you feel better if I also tried it after you?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, after me?
Oh, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, hold on. I want to hear it again.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
That's such a gross sound.
Yeah, no. How could I not make that the first one?
It sounds like Anthony Hopkins is doing a Godfather impression.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. I feel like I knocked it out of the goddamn park.
You started a little bit doing the Newsies Brooklyn accent, but then you stopped.
Okay. I did not practice that, I promise.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with...
Why do you sound like a Brooklyn mother?
Because I got it in my head.
No, we got to go back.
What?
You can't do the Brooklyn accent because that's just not Anthony Hopkins in this movie. A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice candy.
Crunchy?
All right, now you.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
That's everything I thought it could be. Wow, this segment's got a stick. I'm sorry.
I fought the Brooklyn so hard.
That second one was pretty good, I thought.
Thank you so much.
The first one was just a nightmare. And that'll just die with the podcast. Nobody will ever hear it again.
Oh my god.
Wasn't that fun? Isn't that a fun segment?
Ooh, it's funny. It'll be funny for people.
All right. And I realized that I didn't have a bumper for our news segment, so I made a bumper for that.
Great.
The guy was like tearing him to pieces with his mouth. So I told him, get off, it's like, and the guy just kept eating the other guy away, like ripping his skin.
Larry Vega describes it as a scene out of a horror movie as a naked man chewed off the face of another naked man.
All right. Hey, Felicia. Felicia, what's our movie or television news
my
this week?
God. You can't be that long every time.
I think it can.
God.
Why don't you let us know in the Discord or email us if you think it should be that long? Because I think it really pays off in the end.
Okay, I have some news that I didn't discuss with you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, first.
Yeah.
The first trailer for Super Mario Brothers starring Chris Pratt will premiere October 6th.
Oh boy.
So look out for that. Also, like on a sadder note, so remember how HBO was like pulling down all those shows as a tax write-off?
Yeah.
Well, Olin Rogers' Final Space was one of those shows.
No.
Yeah, so it's like disappearing off of everything.
No. Dude, that sucks so bad. He poured his fucking soul into that shit.
Yeah. And our friend Mike Falzone.
Yeah, Mike was on it. Season 3, episode either 6 or 8. I think maybe
something
8.
like that.
Damn, that fucking blows. I thought Final Space would be safe because that's people love that shit. People love that show.
And he's saying there's no physical copies of the show exist either. So it's literally just disappearing.
God damn.
Yep.
I hate that fucking Paramount Plus CEO guy so much.
Yeah, dude. That's real rough.
That sucks so bad.
Sure does. So I'm so glad I brought the energy way down. But lastly, there's a trailer just dropped for M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin Door. It looks pretty cool. I personally appreciate that in that movie, the guy from Fleabag, who's like so hot that's all anyone can talk about.
Yeah.
And the king from Hamilton are a couple.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What is this called again? Knock
at the Cabin Door.
I think I saw a poster for this and it looked.
Yeah, it's been
like
shared in our
poster.
Discord.
Right.
I did
Tyler.
watch the trailer. It looks like this couple, those two, and their daughter are on vacation in a cabin, and a crew of people, including Dave Bautista and Rupert Grint, walk up and say, "We need you to prevent the apocalypse," and that's it.
Oh, I'll probably watch that.
Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah, for sure.
Let's do a watch along when it comes out.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's all I had.
I have news about John Boyega from Star Wars fame.
Yes.
He walked off the set of Netflix's Rebel Ridge without saying anything.
Damn.
In June. So I found this Hollywood Reporter article from the 23rd, which is like 3 days ago right now. But when the podcast comes out, it'll be like 5 days ago. But it says, in early June, John Boyega abruptly exited the Netflix production of Rebel Ridge for family reasons, according to a statement released by the streamer at the time. But other sources say that, in fact, Boyega simply walked away from the production with filming underway, which, according to one person with knowledge to the situation, the filmmakers only discovered when they looked for him at his hotel and then found that he had checked out.
Holy shit.
And according to sources, there seemed to be no one incident that prompted Boyega to leave in the midst of shooting. Several insiders, however, say the star had a myriad of issues ranging from the script to his accommodations. He big time, though.
See, I remember, I don't know if it was this production or something else, but I remember him having issues like this in the past. But I want to say, once the reasons came out, it was valid. I wish I could remember. I think it was a Star Wars related thing. Do we know what Rebel Ridge is?
No. No, it's just a Netflix thing.
Interesting.
But, I mean, you sign a contract, you get money. That's like a big dick thing to do.
Yeah, dude.
Even if it's bad.
So if this is a thing he's done more than once, then maybe we don't want to work with John Boyega anymore.
That's what I'm thinking. I think his career might be
Yeah.
But the reason I brought this up because before this Hollywood Reporter article came out, I knew of this because I saw this thing on Reddit where someone had made a cryptic post, and that's where this leak came from. So it was someone from the production saying a well-known actor from a huge movie franchise has walked off the set. So I think it was someone from the crew, and they're basically shit talking him. So yeah, bit of fun Hollywood drama.
Fun.
And I think if you're an actor, you probably look at that and be like, "That's fucked up." I wonder if you're an actor, if you look at that and you're like, "Good for you," or "No, that's fucked up. I've worked on shitty sets before and I just stuck it out."
Yeah, I don't know the circumstances. It could have been something truly awful that caused him to walk away. But it does seem real shitty from the outside, because if you're one of the big names attached to a production, then everybody is relying on you, from cast to crew. So you just fucked all those people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It was pretty fun when nobody knew who it was.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to say the news, but I looked it up today. I was like, fuck. There's a report on it now.
I don't think I've ever seen John Boyega in anything. I'm not a Star Wars person, so I don't have any kind of opinion about it.
He was pretty good in Star Wars. I saw him in that 7th one. I lose count.
It's down there.
I think it's the 7th one, and he was good in it. He played Finn, and then he was good in the 8th one, and then I never watched the last one because the 8th one just fucked me all up on that franchise. I stopped watching it.
Perfect.
We come together on a huge silver screen because we need that, all of us. That indescribable feeling we get feels good in a place like this.
Felicia,
Jesse,
what's coming out?
There are 2 movies coming to theaters nationwide on Friday, September 30th.
Ooh.
The first one is called Bros. It's a comedy romance written by Billy Eichner of Billy on the Street.
Yeah.
2 men with commitment problems attempt a relationship. And you have a note here.
Yeah, I watched the trailer, and my note is the men in this film seem very friendly with one another.
Yeah, they're just bros.
Yeah, as the title would lead you to believe, I think they're just bros.
I assume this leans more comedy because Billy Eichner wrote it and also stars in it. How do you feel about him?
I like his Billy on the Street stuff.
I
don't seek it out.
Yeah, same.
I have sought out the best of Billy on the Street, but I don't watch I don't know if he does a full show. It used to just be a segment that he would do on Leno, I think.
Yeah. I was wondering because I just get them on TikTok every once in a while, and usually I do find them funny, but I've never sought one out.
I think he's been doing it for a while, and I think he started it. I want to say Leno, I might be wrong, but I think I watched those segments because I used to watch Leno and Conan a lot. So that's what I remember him from. But
my only other experience with him is on Parks and Rec, and he was quite extra in that show.
Yeah. The trailer actually looked good, aside from my note, my joke. The trailer looked pretty good, and I think I remember every member of this cast being LGBTQ+.
That's good. I mean, I do appreciate the fact that if you're going to make a gay romance, you should probably actually have gay people in it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I just don't know about the comedy thing.
I could be,
but we'll see.
I could be wrong. I think I remember hearing that. Maybe it was on the production. I can't remember.
That would make sense. I could see Billy Eichner advocating for that.
It's
the next thing.
Oh, I was gonna say it stars Luke McFarlane. Did you ever watch Killjoys?
No.
He was David on that. That's a good show. And then Kristen Chenoweth from Pushing Daisies.
I also never saw that.
You never wait.
No, we've talked about this.
Oh yeah, it's always surprising because that's got Lee Pace in it. That is Lee Pace.
Yeah, but that was like pre me knowing who Lee Pace was.
I bet you would, dude.
I'm sure I would like
you
it.
You would 1,000,000% love that shit all the way. It's a musical. That's why I didn't like it that much.
It is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They sing a shit ton. It's Kristen Chenoweth. She sings like a mofo. She's got a very good voice. I'm not going to say it's a musical.
Okay. The next thing on the list is Smile, which we talked about a little bit when the trailer came out. But the synopsis is, after witnessing a bizarre traumatic incident involving a patient, Dr. Rose Cotter starts experiencing frightening occurrences that she can't explain. Rose must confront her troubling past in order to survive and escape her horrifying new reality.
Yeah.
I do want to see this. I don't have like crazy high hopes for it because it does seem like kind of a mainstream theatrical horror thing and it's probably overhyped, but it does look quite unsettling.
From my research, I think you can get your hopes up a little bit.
Interesting.
Early reports are good. And that trailer is good. That trailer's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, but neither of those things mean anything in horror.
Probably, but yeah, I don't know.
I'll still watch it for sure.
Early indications seem that it fits as a horror. At least it's probably decent enough to watch.
That's good.
Yeah. And what's new on streaming?
I will say this one super fast because I don't care. DC League of Super Pets is now out on HBO Max.
Yep, that's why I left it one line.
Next, we have Blonde, which is the biography drama mystery on Netflix about Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
And this is the Ana de Armas one.
I didn't add this to the notes, but I think it might be super horny.
I assume.
I saw a thing on it was Reddit maybe yesterday or the day before, and I forgot to put it on here, but there was like some question about it skating an NC-17 rating because it's on Netflix. Whoa. So I think
I just assumed because it's Ana de Armas and Marilyn Monroe that it would be somewhat horny, but that's more than I was anticipating.
I think it's supposed to be hyper horny, maybe.
Interesting.
And my trailer note is it's pretty and it looks like it moves between dull color and black and white. Ana de Armas looks like Marilyn Monroe, and the tone of the trailer makes Marilyn Monroe seem like the Joker.
I can see that.
The tone is very thrillery for some reason.
I really love your note here where when you said starring Ana de Armas, you said she is Melinda from Darkwater, and then there's just a little note that says snails.
Yeah.
Which was a prominent feature of the movie Darkwater.
That movie was hot garbage.
Yeah, dude.
That's maybe the worst movie of the last 5 years I've seen.
Certainly up there, yeah.
It might be even more years than that. That movie was fucking garbage. And I saw Fateful Findings by what's his name?
Neil Breen.
Neil Breen. Yeah. I would rather watch Fateful Findings 10 more times than watch Darkwater one more time. So what a fucking garbage movie that was. Good Lord.
It was not good. Do you have more to say about that, or am I moving on?
No, other than it's got Lucy DeVito in it, who's Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman's daughter. She wasn't on my radar.
No, I did not.
But I love Danny DeVito, so.
Yeah, he's great.
I think I'm going to watch Blonde. I'm not totally sure yet, but.
Yeah, I think I'll watch it too. Maybe a watch along.
Maybe, yeah. Although the NC-17 of it all is weird.
Yeah.
You're trying to do horny watch alongs?
We have certainly watched horny.
That's true, but do you want to do like a watch along?
We'll see. Next on the list, we have The Munsters, a comedy family fantasy movie on Netflix, which is, hey, another reboot.
Yeah.
Of, you guessed it, The Munsters, that followed a family of monsters who moves from Transylvania to an American suburb.
The trailer does not do this shit any favors at all. Have you seen the trailer for this?
No. I also didn't really watch the Munsters. Again, like handful of episodes and that's it. And never thought, you know what should be rebooted?
Yeah.
Oh God, written and directed by Rob Zombie. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's written and directed by Rob Zombie, which means Sherry Moon Zombie's also in it because she's in everything he does.
So it's gonna be like gross?
No, that's the thing. If you look at the trailer for this thing, it looks cheesier than Mystery Science Theater 3000's like interstitial sketches. Do you remember those?
And I didn't watch Mystery
God
Theater.
damn
Mystery
it.
Science. I'm too young.
I guess so. Well, they rebooted it. You could have seen the reboot. Anyway, I digress. It looks super extra PG. It looks like he just rebooted the Munsters in color and kept the 50s vibe or whatever.
That's so weird for Rob Zombie. I can't think of anything of his that I've seen that's not like over the top weird and gross.
That's what I mean. I think this might just be for kids, but you're right. The branding, they should have picked someone else to do it because you think Rob Zombie, you think this is going to be fucked up in some way, but the branding is off. It looks hyper PG. It looks like it's almost G rated.
Super weird.
Yeah. And there's nobody we'd ever heard of in it.
Yay.
Oh, but it was starring this guy named Daniel Roebuck, who I looked up, and he had a list of things that are announced pre-production or post-production longer than anyone I've ever seen.
What the fuck?
I loaded up IMDb and I looked him up, and there were like 18 things in red. And he's been in like 256 things since 1983. That dude's a grinder. Anyway, that was interesting. I couldn't believe how many fucking productions he's in right now.
Well, got a lot of fingers and pies.
Yeah. What are we watching this week? My note is wrong.
We did say this briefly, but we will be and have watched Bodies. It is a
A24.
Kind of like it's an A24 movie, but it's kind of like a horror, almost slasher. Like it has that same kind of teen slasher vibe that like Scream does. Not a spoiler, but just Jesse and I thought this was a very fun movie.
Yeah, we liked it.
And all of our friends disagree.
Yes, that was weird.
So,
well, not all of them.
I know. Well, all but Heather.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what everybody thinks because I had a great time.
I did too, and I think I want to say it's because I picked up on the satire quick.
Yeah.
I think you need to, when you watch this movie, you need to know that it's. I think it's a satire of Gen Z and below.
Yes, it is like a very over the top satire of Gen Z. There's like one particular scene that amps it up real hard.
Yeah,
and then also Lee Pace is inexplicably there.
Like that one scene, if it wasn't clear it was satire, it becomes crystal clear.
Yes.
But it was really fun. That was a good movie, I thought.
Yeah, I want to watch it again, honestly.
Yeah, that would be fun, actually.
Yeah. Maybe we'll watch along with ourselves.
Maybe, yeah. With a little Inception.
Yeah.
So if you're into that, why don't you join us on Friday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern?
Hell yeah.
And you can go to our website at www.idiots.fm, and we have a link to YouTube at the top if you want to click that and subscribe. We need more so we can have a name.
Please name us.
And anyway, the watch along videos on YouTube are better than the podcast version because they have a video time code.
Hell yeah.
So you can actually pause if you need to.
Fuck yeah.
I think that's it. I think we did it. And even though we had a bunch of shit, we were still in an hour 30.
Well, it was kind of late on movie TV news. And we got to bullshit a lot, which is
fun. That was fun. We got a new segment. We got new bumpers. You like my news bumper?
It was just great.
Wow, what a great news. Bye. Felicia's impressions by Jesse.
Over Stuff, produced by Jesse Stillwell, with original theme and outro music by Jesse Stillwell. For more information, you can visit www.idiots.fm or reach out directly via email to contact@idiots.fm.
Hey, now that we're alone.
Oh, God.
I just want to say that Miriam and Beth got the code last week, and that's super cool.
Yeah.
That's it. I just want to give recognition where recognition's due.
Oh, I thought it was like a call out for everyone who didn't listen to the end.
No, it's just given. I didn't expect
Well,
people to
I'm
listen to the
calling
end.
you out.
I'm not.
Fuck you guys who didn't give us the code.
I'd be perfectly happy if people listen to 20 minutes
go
of the show.
fuck yourself.
Bye.
Bye.